Good morning, everyone. Today we're checking out a brand new video from Popcross Studios of turning characters from the amazing world of Gumball into SCPs. That's a little bit of an interesting choice, I have to say. Anyway, let's hop in and check them out.
With the new season of The Amazing World of Gumball coming out, I decided it was time that I go back and finally watch the original run of the show, as lots of people have recommended before.
Oh, please do Rob. Please do Rob.
Both thought it was very entertaining and enjoyed the fact that there was a lot of weird-looking characters in it that could be fun to turn into some creepy SCPs, as I've done with many other cartoon characters before. And while I doubt I'll make anything quite as creepy as Chris Morris the hamster, I think this is going to be a fun video that, honestly, there's lots of fuel for it to possibly get a sequel as well. Though there's also other SCP videos people have been asking for sequels to, so maybe I'll put up a poll in the near future getting people to vote on which sequel should happen. So if you're new here and you want to make sure to have a vote in that, I'd recommend subscribing so that you're more likely to see that poll when it happens. But anyway, let's get into some Amazing World of Gumball SCPs. Let's go.
Hit like if you want, subscribe if you feel like it. By the way, enjoy the show.
Oh, good.
And of course, we're starting off with the one and only Zach Wattleson. Oh, wait, what's that? His name is Gumball. No. It was actually found out that his real name was Zach Wattleson. Gumball was just a nickname he had been going by since the beginning of the show. Until the episodes where Gumball did become his legal name.
Good evening, everyone. While I am pleased that I've been requested to give
What up,
more
Oakland?
lectures as of late, I admit that the naming scheme of the particular subcategory of SCPs we'll cover today, I believe, was named specifically because it is widely known that I consider there to be far too many unnecessary subcategories being concocted. Well, I do think...
Yeah, how many is all though? Those Digimon, Pokemon, and the emotions, and I can't actually think of others.
This is a scenario in which it makes sense to group these SCPs together, labeling them as SCP-TAWOGB is entirely unnecessarily long and convoluted. With that said, it is not my...
Plus that B is kind of unnecessary, because even the acronym of the show is TAWOG, TAWOG.
final decision to make.
Huh,
These
TWOG.
entities have
Okay.
all allegedly come from a parallel reality to our own, and a very strange one at that. Many of them, with the ability to converse with us, have claimed that a glitching void was opened into their realm, consuming everything. Those who fell into said void as it grew were somehow transported into our own reality. While many of them are not inherently dangerous or ill-meaning, they are certainly anomalous enough that we need to keep them out of the wider public eye, as we study them and learn if there is any way to send them home, or find a fitting place for them to reside long-term without alarming our world's residents.
Yeah, you would have to pretty much make a whole new Elmo on Earth.
Many of these entities are, I am displeased to admit, children. The one that we have learned most from claims to be 12 years old. I cannot say that I am ever pleased about a scenario in which we are put in a position where we must lock away children, and I hope that this is the last time I will ever partake in keeping 12-year-olds in containment against their will.
Wait,
is there something you'd like to share, Operative Foreshadow?
No. Sorry, Professor Oakland. Something just came over me as you said that. I'll remain silent.
Thank you.
Who's this? New
I
character?
will begin with the most talkative of our captives in this category. Item number SCP-TA...
Just say TWOG. Just say TWOG. You'll save yourself so much trouble, Oakland.
WOGB-01. Object Class, Keter. Special Containment Procedures. Like many
Wait, Kettle? That is very damn high. Oh, cartoon character though. Never mind.
entities in this subcategory, I will simply refer to him as 01. 01 can gain and lose superhuman and supernatural abilities seemingly on a whim, often outside his own control. As a result, every containment measure and reinforcement possible has been added to his 20 by 20 foot containment cell, which he shares with Entity 02. If the two are separated for a period of time exceeding 6 hours, the risk is often run of one of them trying to find a way to seek the other out. Their cell is
They
also
all
to be
brothers.
well stocked with toys, video games, and Captain Punch comics, acquired along with other remnants that have fallen through from their world to
Captain
our
Punch.
own.
Hey, I hope you have the first edition unedited.
01 is also to be given time with 06, as they are self-reportedly in a romantic relationship.
That's
a common
Penny.
space has been made where many of the entities in this subcategory are provided time to intermingle, as many of them are already well acquainted from their own realm. Description: 01 is a 4'11" humanoid cat child with blue fur, whose name is allegedly GUMBALL Watterson, appearing somewhat like a realistic version of what one may see in the smash hit spectacular underappreciated musical production Cats.
It depends on which version of Cats.
Anyhow, he is a very energetic and imaginative child, which unfortunately seems to play a role in his
12.
ability to spontaneously acquire new supernatural gifts for short periods at a time. He has taken on the ability to camouflage with the floors and walls, shapeshift, gain superhuman flight and strength with extended blonde spiky hair, can consume
Yep, Dragon Ball reference.
massive amounts of food, becoming exceedingly overweight, then lose it again within moments, and many, many more. Early upon arriving in our realm and being contained, he regularly said the phrase, "what the what," when confused, but it seems this turn of phrase came about because, in his last
I don't know why, but him saying "what the what" in such a monotone voice was very funny.
realm, he was self-reportedly physically incapable of saying words broadly considered to be curse words or swear words in our own realm. Now, his "what the what" phrase has turned into, well, exactly what you'd expect,
Oh,
though
no.
he is scolded for saying such phrases when around Entity 03, who is allegedly his mother. This
Nicole.
is somewhat believable, as she too is a blue cat humanoid, but more strangely, his father appears to be an obese pink rabbit.
That's
whom
Richard.
we will discuss later.
Alright, well, we got Gumball. Oh my god, look at that! That is so damn long! Even if you dropped the B and just said twog, that would still be way too damn long. Oh my lord! Okay, who's next?
Contained in
Darwin,
this same
of course.
cell, as previously mentioned, is item number SCP-TAWOGB02. Object class, Keter. Special containment procedures. 02 shares housing with 01, but is also to be provided a large fishbowl with water cleaned every 14 days. Our operatives
every 2
openly
weeks,
offered
huh?
to clean
Okay.
it every other day, but the entity denied, stating that would be a bit much. Description: 02 is a goldfish with a 2-foot-long body and human legs stemming from the middle of his torso, along with octopus-like tentacles in
Spontaneous legs.
place of pectoral fins or arms. His name is Darwin Watterson, but is apparently not the biological child of entities 03 and 04, as 01 claims to be.
So I guess that means Anais would have to be 05.
01, 03, and 04 have all corroborated 02's story that he was acquired by 04, the father of the family, as
Richard.
a pet initially for 01.
That's
but
right.
was acquired from a suspicious source. It is unclear if the
The awesome store.
seller had some sort of abilities himself, or where he initially acquired Entity 02, but regardless
Yeah, we don't
of
know about that.
how, Entity 02 transformed from a common goldfish quite quickly after becoming a member of 01's family. He grew in size, intelligence, and eventually sprouted legs, which he initially did not have. As strange as this
That's
entity
right.
appears to be, he
Oh, and lungs. Don't forget the lungs.
is generally a very pleasant one to interview. He is optimistic, if a bit naive, and believes there is inherent good in everyone. Except for an entity named Margaret Robinson, an entity we have yet to find that may have fallen into our own reality as well, who apparently thrives on the pain and suffering of others.
Yeah, you gotta get that woman and quickly lock her up, otherwise the world is going to disaster fast.
02 is unfortunately also classified as Keter because it is entirely unclear when he and 01 may escape and get up to their antics again, causing trouble within the facility. All entities in this subcategory had to be removed from Site-19 after 01 and 02 broke free from their containment by temporarily gaining intangibility by allegedly telling their molecules to move around quickly while they attempted sprinting at the doors and walls.
Oh my god.
This worked on the 42nd attempt after they had each broken multiple teeth and bones, which spontaneously healed moments after their escape. An operative interviewing them had made the mistake of telling them about some of the entities housed in Site-19 along with them, and they went looking for the infamous SCP-682. They used this same intangibility to break into the hard-to-destroy reptile's housing and attempted to become its friend. They decided that it was only obsessed with killing because it had no close acquaintances. 682, at the time, was bound in chains with much of its body held in a pool of acid, but it grew so furious from the boys' incessant chattering and attempting to convince it to be their friend that it tore free from its chains and devoured them, then breaking free, initiating a containment breach. When 682 was finally recaptured, it spontaneously vomited up the two boys, who were severely burned from the entity's stomach acids, but, as they often do, spontaneously healed within an hour of being brought into emergency care. In said care, they were speaking about what they would do the next time they went to visit 682, hence moving them to another site and limiting their access to knowledge of other dangerous entities sharing their containment.
Oh god, imagine if they got with the shy guy, 96. 096. Oh boy, that'd be crazy. Showing his picture to everyone.
Hey folks, if you like looking at the collection of colorful freaks in this video, I bet you'd like to also color some of said freaks yourself, in something like the Popcross Demons coloring book. Benny, what are you doing here? You have nothing to do with this video, and would not even be born for thousands of years after it occurred in the canonical timeline. What can I say, Drezzy boy? Folks like it better when I do the ad reads. You tell folks about Popcross's coloring books as if you're giving a boring lecture to a bunch of stiffs. No offense.
I mean, that's kind of just the way his voice walks, but yes.
These videos are literally me giving a lecture to a collection of possibly uptight coworkers, but if someone has watched this far into the video, they clearly find that type of delivery appealing. Fair enough, but I still think if you want to sell any coloring books to these fine folks, you gotta give it a little more pizzazz. Like my ma always said, give it some flair or you'll end up like Aunt Claire. And
wait, what happened to her?
My ma's aunt, who gave a presentation so boring that someone in the audience stood up and shot her. That seems to be a highly unlikely overreaction for someone to have. Yeah, well, Aunt Claire may have also had mob ties and a lot of unpaid gambling debts, so maybe that had something to do with the whole getting shot thing. But oh, would you look at that, we're out of time, so folks, buy the Demon's Coloring Book if you like freaky stuff, or maybe the Dragon's Coloring Book for things a bit less freaky. And if you leave a review on Amazon, make sure to leave a picture of something you colored from the book so it can possibly get shown off in a video. Like this awesome piece from Finfisk here. Love the alternate color scheme on this one, Finfisk.
That's really
Keep it up. Alright, now back to the lectures. Item number SCP-TAWOGB06. Object Class, Keter. Special Containment Procedures. Despite having slightly fewer abilities within her accessible roster, similar measures to Entities 01 and 02's containment are to be taken with 06. Operatives who interact with this entity must be very sensitive to the feelings of the entity, especially regarding her appearance underneath the shell that she is occasionally adorned in. As stated previously,
I'm actually kind of finding it interesting that you're finding a way to mix both her real self and the shell self that she always had to be with her family.
Is to be given time alone with Entity 01. This entity's father is also in containment and has protested this alone time, but when it is not provided, both 01 and 06 get frustrated and become much more significant containment breach risks.
Yeah, that makes
sense.
Description.
06 is often seen in one of two forms. One is more common when she is feeling shy or insecure. In this case, she wears a peanut-like shell that covers her entire torso and, for unknown reasons, causes the color and texture of her extremities to change from a golden glowing yellow to a desaturated brown, similar to the shell.
Huh, I never actually noticed that until he said it. Wow, and I actually watched the show.
She has antlers that also extend from the sides of her head, sticking out the sides of the shell. The shell also has holes for her mouth and eyes, so she can see and speak through it with ease. Her other form is her true biological form, only visible when she is no longer within her shell. In this state, she appears as a floating golden humanoid fairy-like being whose flesh is the consistency of slime. She still has antlers, but the color of them shifts to being more akin to the rest of her body. When showing her true form, the entity also has the ability to then transform into a wide myriad of other creatures and beings, and can take on abilities of said creatures.
All depending, of course, on her mental state.
Her slime-like skin will change color and hue, but the consistency and texture will generally remain the same, so it is still easy to recognize the entity even when taking other forms. Prior to entering our realm, there was apparently a time when this entity never took off her shell, wearing it at all times both due to pressure from her father to keep her shape-shifting abilities a secret, and due to insecurities she had around her appearance. Frankly, while it would be highly inappropriate to state
at least those are gone with now, kind of.
This around the entity, I believe the cracked shell she occasionally wears causes her to be much more frightening looking than her common form, which is quite elegant, though concealing one's appearance by any means necessary is not uncommon by those with serious insecurities about how they appear.
It is indeed extremely common. I mean, hell, that shit's still happening in modern day right now at this very moment.
Finally, for today, we shall
And we're finishing off with Richard. Oh, damn it. No, Rob. I wanted to see you draw him. Considering both how he looked before and after his time in the void.
Discuss item number SCP-TAWOGB04. Object class, Euclid. Special containment procedures. Similar precautions to prior entities in this
just give him a couch and a TV.
Category are to be taken, though this entity's risk of escape is significantly lessened, so long as a television is left usable in the entity's housing, along with ample amounts of junk food. Or
I was
really
pretty close.
Any food. Even items that remotely resemble food for the entity to consume are to be restocked regularly. Description. 04 is a 6-foot-tall, 320-pound humanoid.
Richard is 6 foot? Huh, impressive.
Rabbit named Richard Buckley Watterson. He is allegedly the father of Entity 01 biologically, as well as of Entity 05, who is his daughter, though this is much more evident as she also appears as a humanoid pink rabbit, albeit much younger and female. She also
and highly intelligent compared to literally everyone else in her family, except possibly her mother.
Who, ironically, seems to be far more intelligent than her father. 04 is profoundly lazy, and if left to his own devices, will be content to do nothing more than eat and watch television all day.
That's all he needs.
He may even fall into a hypnotic-like state while doing this, where his food may run out, but he will continue to consume whatever is within reach. He once even began taking bites out of the chair he was sitting on while watching television, not noticing that it was not food until halfway through eating it, when an operative entered containment and awoke him from his daze. Even after this, the entity still tried taking another bite of the chair, at which point it was taken from him, despite the protest of 04. 04 then attempted to take a bite out of the operative, though this luckily only resulted in a minor injury. He is only easily convinced to do anything other than eat and watch television when his wife, 03, also in containment, gives him a direct order. Even then, she must keep her demands very limited, as she claims he is only ever able to undertake one task per day maximum.
Oh yeah, and yet when he was asked to get mail, dude literally went on a never-ending story-level quest.
In their own reality, she once asked him to pick up a simple jar of mayonnaise from the grocery store, and he claimed the task was so daunting that, while he did achieve it, it was a perilous journey that almost took his life. Given the extreme peculiarities proven to be common elements of the realm they hail from, It is technically possible that the journey was treacherous, but knowing how lazy this entity is, I believe it may very well have just been a trip to the grocery store that he has inflated into such a daunting endeavor.
Oh, no.
As you can likely tell by now, these entities are largely an odd blend of being generally well-meaning, yet also incredibly dangerous given many of their unpredictable natures and abilities. The ideal solution would be to send them back to their own realm, but so far as we know, it has vanished into a void as they so claimed. For the time being, we will keep them contained and hopefully content, remaining compassionate, as I'm sure we are all grateful that we've not had to face a disaster as large as our own realm being destroyed. Operative Foreshadow, please.
Oh, Foreshadow. Operative Foreshadow. Oh, I just got that. Foreshadow. Oh, see, he's laughing because he knows everything. The death of the SCP of Dresden's SCP universe and all the shit he is gonna do.
Sorry, Professor. I really don't know what came over me there.
It is all right. The lecture has concluded anyhow. Thank you all for your time, and good night.
Oh shit, that joke was so right in front of my face, I didn't get it until that moment at the end. Oh my god.
If you enjoyed this, I'd love some recommendations in the comments for other Gumball characters I could turn into SCPs or other shows I could work with. And if you want something else like this to watch, you could check out my 3 Amazing Digital Circus SCPs episodes or my Inside Out SCPs. Or if you want some more long-form storytelling, you could check out something like my Fear of the Demon Hunters storyline, which is essentially an audiobook about a girl named Vivian Sabraya who works in a coalition of demon hunters, but secretly has demon powers herself and ends up in a situation where she has to team up with the person that forced her to gain these demon powers. But anyway, besides that, that's all for today, except of course for ending this video on some kind of positive or inspiring note. And the thought I want to leave people with today is something that I did myself that I was reminded of while making this video. There's this setting in Premiere Pro, which I edit in, that will randomly get turned off sometimes, and I used to find it frustrating, but I had to go in and turn it back on. Even though it was easy to do, it just kind of interrupted my flow of working. So I decided that anytime that happened, I would use that as a prompt to remind myself how grateful I am for the job I have and how much I enjoy my work. So I took something that used to be frustrating and now has become a positive part of my day when it does happen. So hopefully you can just take that as encouragement to find some situation in your life where you can use something that's not necessarily pleasant and use it as a positive prompt to remind you of something good that happens in your life. I hope that's an inspiring idea. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next episode on Friday. Goodbye.
Alright everyone, that's going to be the end of today's video, and I hope you all enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all of y'all next time when we flick back on. Until then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.